Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. This time out we have more Funko Pop rumors, but the rumors are becoming more and more sort of clear, concrete. We're getting more information about the commons plus the exclusives, and more figures are of course getting kind of added to these lists. So I think it's becoming more and more concrete, which is definitely good. A few different sources of information putting this stuff together, and it for the most part matching. But the reason that this is news here is that this person here has a few different Funkos that we hadn't heard about before on their list. So this is Pop Holmes, who obviously doesn't seem to be like huge on Twitter, but if you look at their Instagram, 160k followers. So I suppose they do primarily do their stuff on Instagram, but I happen to see it on Twitter, so I'll just do it here. So I think you know, similar to like say This Funko or Funko Pop News, who are also putting out some rumors about this stuff. I think you can treat this as being, equivalent style of information. So what do they have? They're saying that here's what we could expect from the new Avatar line. Zhao, Ozai, Suki, Ty Lee, Aang All Elements, Aang All Elements Special Edition Glow in the Dark, Zhao with Fireball Special Edition Glow in the Dark, Mei with Knives Special Edition, and Blue Spirit Zuko Special Edition Chase. So the first five we'd heard about before. That was the initial rumor for the Wave 2 of Avatar, was that the first four are going to be, I suppose, standard Funko Pops, as you would expect. The Aang with All Elements is going to be this pop super big scale Aang with all four elements. Really, really cool. Aang with All Elements Special Edition Glow in the Dark we hadn't heard about before. Now, I don't really know what the situation here is with regards to what does this mean about how you can or can't get this. Does this mean that there's going to be a standard Aang with all elements that's just a normal common Funko everywhere is going to sell, and then a certain place is going to have a special edition glow in the dark version of it? So it's not a chase Aang with all elements, it's just an exclusive Aang with all elements. I think they've done this before. I think the Naruto line where they had Kurama, and then they did a flocked Kurama. I think they did it that way, where you could get a normal Kurama was just a pop, and then the other one was kind of exclusive, I think. So I'm assuming that's what this is going to be, and it's not going to be a chase situation. Otherwise, it would have said chase. Now, I am interested to see what that means, because typically with Avatar, the way they've done this is that glow in the dark typically means, like for an Aang, means Avatar state. But in this case, Aang with all elements would kind of have to, by default, already be Avatar state. So, are these pops going to look basically the same, but one of them will have sort of glow-in-the-dark paint? Or is there going to be any other difference? That's going to be very interesting, I think, because if the normal Aang with all elements doesn't have, like, Avatar state features, that's going to look kind of weird, because typically we don't see avatars utilize multiple elements at the same time when not in the Avatar state. There's a few examples where an Avatar has done it, but typically they never do anything particularly powerful. So if this is meant to be sort of like Aang in the sphere of elements from Sozin's Comet, and they portray that Aang as not being in the Avatar state, that sort of makes it kind of non-canon, which could, I think, for accuracy's sake, make a lot of people be like, do I even want the normal one? Maybe I kind of have to go get the glow-in-the-dark one. We haven't seen pictures yet, but just I have a slight worry potentially about that at this point. So again, the hope there is that Aang with all elements normal still has the white eyes, the white arrows and stuff like that to show Avatar state. But again, it also depends, is the pose that we're thinking of all elements, like sphere of elements, or is it going to be more like the Korra pop from the Korra Funko Pops, where she has three elements, but it's relatively normal, so it sort of fits, like she's not doing anything too crazy with the elements. So that'll be telling what they do. Again, it's meant to be a bigger Funko Pop, so that's, I think, why we're expecting a huge like effect part thing going on, kind of like the sphere of elements. So next up, Zhao with Fireball Glow in the Dark Special Edition. That's kind of interesting to me. Zhao getting an exclusive. So I don't know what that suggests about Admiral Zhao versus Zhao with Fireball. Is that maybe, I suppose, Admiral Zhao is going to be more in a sort of military commander pose where he's just sort of standing there. And the exclusive is going to be more of our Zhao in an action pose, firing out a fireball. Which I suppose is cool. Glow in the dark. I wonder how they're going to do that necessarily. Because I think the glow in the darks we've seen up to now have been Zuko with doing the lightning, and then Aang on the air scooter with the eyes and stuff like that as the glow in the dark effect. So how do they do that for Zhao? Is it just meant to be sort of a fire glow in the dark effect? That could be cool. And again, that looks like it's just going to be, that's it. It's a glow in the dark Zhao with fireball. It doesn't look like there's a normal version versus a separate version. The most interesting thing from this new list here is definitely Mei with knives. The character missing from the list, if you like ignore the bottom four, the first list that we saw, it was like, okay, 2 waves in, they've covered most of the main characters. The only one missing really is Mei to go with, Ty Lee and Azula and basically the rest of like the teenage like main cast. Now Mei is here as a special edition, just looks like an exclusive to some place. Looks like it's going to be a very similar situation to Azula, I guess. But Mei with knives, so that's cool. She's going to be in somewhat of an action pose. I definitely appreciate that. So that's definitely one like I'll be wanting to get for sure, just to fill out the character lineups. Like Zhao with Fireball completely depends on what it looks like versus the standard one. But like I initially wouldn't have too much of a need to be like, yeah, I need 2 Zhaos in my collection. And then finally, Blue Spirit Zuko, which again has been rumored already as being an exclusive, but I suppose this is seemingly more clarification. Special edition, and there's going to be a chase version of it. So that's kind of interesting. So obviously Blue Spirit Zuko, it's going to be Zuko in his sort of ninja outfit with the Blue Spirit mask, with swords more than likely. The question is, what is the chase version? So I think the fact that they say glow in the dark means it's not just going to be something like that. It is going to be something different. Again, the previous Avatar chase that we've had is the Wave 1 Zuko, which had the sort of a fireball standard punch attack, and then the chase version had the fire daggers. So it's probably going to be some sort of like effect type thing of like maybe one of them will have swords, maybe one of them won't, maybe one of them has the swords like sheathed and the other one has them out. Or maybe this would be kind of interesting. They do it like it's Zuko in the ninja outfit, the black outfit that he wears, but one of them has the mask sort of on, one of them has the mask off. I do think the appeal of Blue Spirit Zuko is that it has the mask, so I don't really know what exactly they're going to go for there. It could just be a different pose, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, this looks pretty substantial. The only one missing that has in any way been rumored from this list is the Spirit Aang, which, again, that was someone that I hadn't really seen before mentioned that, so who knows. Again, exclusives can happen sort of all over the place. There's probably going to still be a few more months until we actually see these, but I think the list is shaping up pretty well. This all seems relatively reasonable to me. I'd say the only thing that is perhaps questionable on this list maybe is the Zhao with Fireball, in terms of like, really, out of all those characters plus the characters you've already done in Wave 1, you're doing a Zhao with Fireball as like a glow in the dark exclusive one. Like, you're not doing another Azula, you're not doing like an Iroh doing like a firebending pose. That might be sort of better. Or say like an Aang in his Book 3 outfit, or Katara Book 3 outfit, Sokka in his armor. Those type of things, like the character redesigns basically from the second half of the series. There's some interesting decisions being made there. Not perhaps one I think most fans would have made to go with a Zhao with Fireball, but like I said, my guess is just that between these 2 Zhaos, you'll get him as the, military commander, and then one as the, firebender. And I think that's pretty cool. Actually, now that I think about it, the fact that they separate Admiral Zhao and Zhao with Fireball, might that be Admiral Zhao is him, in his full armor. Maybe Zhao with Fireball is like Agni Kai's Zhao, so it might be a kind of shirtless Zhao. Who knows? That's probably the same question with Ozai. Are they going for full Fire Lord Ozai with the full outfit? Are they going for Phoenix King Ozai, or are they going for like Sozin's Comet Ozai, where again shirtless Ozai? Is that what they're doing? There's some questions for sure in that. Suki as well. Are they going to go for like Boiling Rock Suki, Suki in her Fire Nation outfit from the end of the series, or Kyoshi Warrior Suki? I personally would want them for the first Suki figure to go for Kyoshi Warrior Suki. I think that would make for the most unique Funko for Suki. So that fits. Ty Lee is going to be, I suppose, her normal design. Same with May. Blue Spirit's going to be fine. So yeah, the real questions are just like, what is the exact sort of pose, molding, effect for the Aang with elements, and what is Suki and Zhao going to look like specifically? But yeah, this covers the majority of the main cast, in that if you were going into a wave 3, I think the characters you'd then be looking for would be, like I said earlier, you'd want to do your book 3 Aang in his like end of series outfit, end of series Katara outfit, Sokka in his armor. I don't know necessarily if you would have to do another Toph, but they'll probably would want to do Toph doing something like metal bending Toph or something along those lines. They've already done the book 3 Zuko, but they might want to do like a fire bending book 3 Zuko. I could absolutely see them doing like one of the sort of showdown fight pops where it's like Zuko versus Azula Agni Kai. That would be a really cool big one to do at some point down the road. Iroh in some sort of a fighting pose would actually be nice to see. And then beyond that, I do think you are then getting into characters like past avatars, that like Roku, Kyoshi, Yang Chen, Karuk. You're getting into like Order of the White Lotus members, I think. So your Boomies, Zhang Zhang, Paku, Piandao, those type of characters. Boomy I think would be a nice fit as a Funko Pop for sure. Because episode 5 is such a notable one with his introduction. So I could definitely see them doing that. And outside of that, like you're then I think getting much more into the more obscure characters, in that like, do we see a day where say a Haru Funko Pop comes out, a Teo Funko Pop, Jet I could perhaps see them doing. I don't know if they'd go as far as to do the other members of the Freedom Fighters though. Those type of decisions, like similarly, Long Fang plays a notable role in the show, but would a Funko Pop for him do particularly well? The Earth King, same sort of situation. And then outside of that, I think, would they do like a more normal sized Momo? So it's not just the small Momo you get with Aang, but like a full on Momo. A dragon, or like a Roku on his dragon. Do they do Sozin at some point? And yeah, you're getting much more into the obscure characters, like say Hama. Do they do Hama? Bloodbending type stuff or anything like that. Hakoda, I suppose, would be an option to do as well. But that's talking way down the line. I think there's so much more stuff to get through before then. Like I said, the character redesigns from book 3, I think would be the priority, plus some of the past avatars and like a Boomy type character. So yeah, they're my thoughts. Just a bit of a discussion there on just Avatar Funkos and what they're doing. So yeah, we had a bit of a disappointment with Funko Fair, but it now seems like Avatar probably will end up being like pretty early in the second half of next year, based on all of this stuff. Like just before this, I think like this Funko had put out a thing, like a big listing of like a lot of different lines of Funko Pops, and a lot of the Avatar ones, the main 5 ones there again were on the list in terms of stuff that I think is rumored for like early in the second half of the year. So this all seems relatively confirmed. We're just waiting to hear like when this stuff actually gets announced. So yeah, they're my thoughts on Avatar Funkos. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts on this list of I suppose stuff that now seems relatively confirmed for when we actually do get the release, but also what Funkos do you think they should do now that we have what looks like a much more complete lineup of characters 2 waves in with the Avatar Funkos. So there are my thoughts, but in the comments let me know yours. That's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.